football. If you want to see flag football, then let's take our pads off. That would make it easier for me, because now I don't got to wear heavy. But give us flags for me to pull off, because that way I know what we're playing. You know, I signed up to play full-speed contact football, and we're not doing that. I feel like I got to ask a guy, hey, are you ready for me to hit you right now before I hit you? And that's crazy. I'm going to mess around and get hurt trying to protect an offensive player because he's running an over route. Damn it, your quarterback shouldn't have threw that ball messed up. That happened 2 years ago. I'm not joking at all. Andy Dalton threw a ball to Tyler Eifert 2 years ago. Tyler Eifert had to dive for it. I was aiming for his gut. But if he don't dive, he don't get in the head. That's 50 grand out of my pocket, though, because Andy throws a bad ball. Make that make sense. If you don't know me, if you never had a conversation with me, don't judge us by what you see on football, because football is my competitive side.
Lot to take in there. Yeah. What'd you think, Sting?
I'm 100% on his side. I completely understand the frustration, and it drives me crazy too. One thing I don't think we can do is legislate contact out of a contact sport. I don't think we can do that. We have to be careful about that. But here's the deal. Life is not fair. And it is not fair. You should have worked on your hands and played receiver if you don't like playing safety. Because the bottom line is this. These are the rules. I hate the rules. I hate it. I hate the fact that if a receiver goes down, like I always felt like if the receiver sees me coming and does this, he is protecting himself. He's no longer defenseless, right?
Yes,
because
absolutely.
You're protecting yourself.
Yeah. And that's a football move.
And yes, and so I don't like the way the rule is written, but the rule is written, and it says regardless of if you drop your head or not, if I hit you in the head or neck area, it's a flag. It's a fine. You have to understand that. Now, you can choose to do one of two things. You can choose not to hit people, or you can choose to keep going lower and lower and lower, and eventually guys are just going to start taking your legs out on every single throw. I don't like that either. But that's the direction that you have right now. But these are the rules. You have to play within the rules. And you know, I always find the whole safety thing is a little bit, for me, it's kind of edgy in that I think it's baloney. You know, the thing that drives me crazy is the hypocrisy of watching 2 years ago Case Keenum get knocked out, asleep on the field, snoring. An official stepping over him to set the ball, the offensive line going, hey, guys, we need to get this kid in here. And he continued to play in that game, and the Rams didn't receive any punishment at all. Like, oh, it's unfortunate. Or, you know, when we get Russell Wilson that gets in the concussion protocol tent and jumps out of the tent and never gets checked. And to this date, I haven't heard anything about the Seattle Seahawks being fined for not protecting that player. So, yes, there's a ton of hypocrisy. Yes, it drives me crazy, but these are the rules. And Mike Mitchell signed up to play, and these were the rules when he came in the league, and it's the things that you have to adhere to. I don't like them either, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that every generation of players, there's a certain set of rules that they're not going to like. I love football. Don't love all the rules about it.
Right.
But if I wanted to play, either I would adapt my playing style to what the rules are, or I would choose to play something else. Now, I know he wants to play flag football, but I don't think CBS, Fox, NBC, I don't think all those people are going to pay money to watch flag football. Now, I do have empathy for anyone who plays safety in this era of football. It is the toughest position to play given the new rules.
Why?
And because the adjustments that they have to make within split seconds. All right? There's no other position that's put in that position where they have to decide where I'm going to hit a guy because they face more defenseless players all the time. And that's what the rule is based on. You can't hit him above his neckline, or anything above that neckline is a personal foul for targeting. So I understand that part of it. But the game is adjusted. When I came into the game, you could bump and run. You could hit him anywhere. You could clothesline him. You could do anything. On the shallow cross, the linebacker, if he was playing zone, if the ball wasn't coming to you, a guy could come out of nowhere and just blindside you.
Here's the thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And subsequently, the reason why I don't I understand Mike that he's in his moment, but we have to change the rules given all the data that we've seen as far as the injuries after players have left the game. So I understand he's in this moment. He's trying to defend Juju Smith-Schuster
Right.
for him, being suspended for a game, which was not fair. But look at the 20,000 people that have played this game. All right? Look outside of your own little career. All right? What you're doing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I got several friends. They not here no more. Dave Duerson, great man. CTE, killed himself. Andre Waters, great guy. Killed himself.
Right.
All right, CT. So I've seen also the results. I understand the rule changes. You might not like it, but I guarantee it's benefited players beyond what you're seeing right now.
Here's I empathize with Mike Mitchell, but at some point, the proof has to be in the results. And the fact of the matter is, since the NFL changed this rule, I remember the weekend it happened. Brandon Merriweather crushed a guy over the middle. James Harrison crushed Colt McCoy. And the NFL that weekend was like, we are changing things mid-season immediately. We're emphasizing this. We're start finding and suspending guys. And I remember I was doing local radio at the time. And I said, okay, well, you can change the rules. It's not going to change the way guys play because it's impossible. I thought it was impossible. And guess what? The hit we saw George Iloka lay on Antonio Brown, those hits happen less now. These guys, these highly trained professional athletes, have done an amazing job they haven't eliminated it entirely, but
Which is impossible. They never will, because that's impossible.
Right, but what they have done is they've lowered the strike zone. There are fewer of those crushing hits to the head, and so the reality is, like, the rule changes are a step in the right direction for player safety. I get your point, Mark, which is some of this feels disingenuous. The reality is there is not a safe way to play a violent game. It can be safer, and the league, you can't eliminate the type of head contact you had, which was, you can't block. Like, there's no offensive and defensive lines without guys banging together. Like, there's no way to eliminate that. So I get why Mike Mitchell would be frustrated. But to Chris's point about the guys who came before him, that's got to be something that you are cognizant of.
Here for me, real quick. As an offensive lineman, when I first came in the league, if I got really, deep block into you, and I had you driving on skates, I could put you on the ground and literally drive my helmet and did it all the time.
Yes.
Anytime I got a chance.
Right into a guy's forehead or into his jaw.
Right in there.
His head?
Oh,
Yes.
sure, all the
and
time.
the ground.
You could drive your head into.
Yes.
Oh,
and there's a lot of bodies, so he gets his legs to trip up.
Right, you get
he grabs him by his pad, pulled him closer, put all his weight,
and
lift him
try
up.
to spear him, right?
Yes.
That was never. It was just what you did. It's the way it worked. Then when you started taking guys to the ground, about midway in my career, that was a holding 100% of the time. They just started calling it. So you know what I did? I quit driving dudes to the ground because I don't want to cost my team 10 yards. I made an adjustment in my career. Everybody had to make that same adjustment. Same thing with a peel back on a screen. I'm the peel guy. I came around. Defensive end stops his rush, goes to run after, and I try to break his jaw. Wham! See if he could do it. And he'd do the same thing to me if he threw an interception.
Yes.
As soon as the interception, man, the first thing I break down and start doing this, right? Because I know the guy I've been holding the whole game is going to try to ear hold me.
Yes.
Bruce Smith got me like that. Leslie O'Neal got me like that. I mean, snot rocket shots. As soon as I got hit, snot shot out of both nostrils, right? Boom, on the ground. You're like, wow, that's a good one. So, but eventually they took that out of the game because they know that part is dangerous, and you have to adjust to it. And frankly, I don't really like it, but it is what it is, and you have to make that adjustment if you want to continue to play the game.
That's what Stacey said. You want to play safety? Then this is how you're going to have to play safety. Mark, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
He thought his name was Mike after Bruce Smith got him.
Right,
That's
I did for a while.
That's what I was thinking.
I did.
In fact, I was like, Bruce, why did you make me think his name was Mike?
Good
Coming up,
to see you,
do we take LeBron James for granted? I mean, I don't. Nick, maybe. Other people? Next on First Things First.